What if the most brilliant mind you ever knew was also the most lethal? Behind a friendly smile and a respected career, a man harbored the darkest of secrets, secrets that would terrify an entire city. But his genius lay in more than just his intellect. It was in his ability to weave a deadly game that no one knew they were playing. In the heart of a bustling city, life went on as usual, until strange disappearances began to spread an eerie dread. One by one, people vanished, leaving no trace. The families pleaded for answers, but there was none. The bodies that surfaced were meticulously cleaned, with any evidence slipping away like shadows. Detectives were left chasing ghosts, and that's exactly what he wanted. To the world, he was an ordinary man, quiet, well-liked, and smart. People knew him as a neutral alias, but behind that identity lay a name only spoken in whispers: the Phantom of Shadows. He was no ordinary killer. He was a master of deception, a ghost in the system. He knew every trick, every forensic loophole, and every psychological edge. He didn't just kill. He made his crimes vanish into thin air. The Phantom had a chilling obsession with control. To him, each murder was a calculated move, like a piece on a grand chessboard. He studied every tactic law enforcement might use, leaving false clues, red herrings designed to confuse and frustrate anyone trying to track him down. The media latched onto the fear, warning of the Phantom of Shadows, a faceless figure whose very existence seemed to stretch the boundaries of reality. Stories swirled about his intelligence, his near-supernatural ability to avoid detection. He was more than a murderer. He was a dark legend haunting the streets. But one investigator, a relentless young detective, saw something that others missed. A small, deliberate detail left at each crime scene. Something that seemed to taunt them. The detective began to realize that this wasn't just a killer. It was a man whose mind thrived on the thrill of outsmarting everyone else. The detective's obsession deepened as he chased the pattern, each clue seeming to reveal yet another layer of the Phantom's twisted mind. The young detective pored over every case file, every unsolved crime, realizing that each victim fit into a meticulous design, a grand, horrific masterpiece crafted by a dark, calculating mind. One night, after years of tireless searching, an anonymous tip led the police to a nondescript house on the edge of town. Inside, they found a hidden room, walls covered with detailed maps, twisted diagrams, and newspaper clippings of his own murders. It was a chamber of horrors, filled with mementos of his achievements. Trophies taken from his victims, each one a grim reminder of his power. But the most horrifying realization? The Phantom of Shadows knew they would find him eventually. He had anticipated this moment, designed it. This was the final stroke in his masterpiece. As they led him away, he wore a cold, victorious smile, fully aware that he had left an indelible mark on the city's soul. Even in chains, he was in control. His name, the Phantom of Shadows, became a chilling legend, a haunting reminder that some minds are wired not just for genius, but for terror. Some called him insane. Others claimed he was one of the most brilliant criminals of his generation. But no one could deny that the name the Phantom of Shadows would forever echo in crime history. A reminder that the most dangerous monsters live among us, hidden in plain sight, watching, waiting, and ready to play their next move. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to subscribe for more tales from the dark side of true crime. Hit the like button if the Phantom of Shadows left you looking over your shoulder, and leave a comment below. What do you think drove this twisted genius to orchestrate such horror? Let's discuss the mind of the Phantom together. And remember, sometimes the real monsters walk among us,